All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to be, I'd like to call this meeting to order. This meeting was given notice by the city of Laredo that we will have this meeting today at 5 p.m. Will everyone please stand for the pledge of allegiance? Ready? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Sandra Cavazos Ayala.
Present.
Mary Baez.
Present.
Roberto Ortiz. Absent. Angelica Salinas.
Present.
Rosa Maria de Llano.
Present.
Edelvina Perez. Absent. Esmeralda Rodriguez.
Present.
Rafael Romo. Absent.
Three yes.
Well, Mr. Romo said he was running late.
Okay, you should, she may be here in a little bit.
Ms. Perez, she said she was coming, so hopefully
Maybe
she'll make it
too,
too.
but the only one really walked.
Mr.
Okay, thank you very much. Next on the agenda, number 4, citizens' comments.
So far, nothing has come in,
Nothing has come in.
and nobody's here.
Okay, good, thank you. The minutes, please. This time, if we could just take a few minutes to review the minutes of the last meeting, which was held on, December the 8th. Yes,
And we have a meeting.
we didn't have one in January, and in February, there was no
A
quorum.
no quorum.
Really? And I was at the doctor, I apologize. I told you.
No, I did tell.
Yes.
I came, right, several
Oh, so
people
there
came,
was-
but
So there
we
was
didn't
no
have a quorum.
meeting?
Online, it was online. I mean, so, yeah.
But I was here, right? No? I don't, no, that's right, that's right. I'm
You were
thinking of,
online. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
it was online, yes.
And no quorum online.
Oh, it's been a long time since we haven't had a quorum.
Yes.
Okay, so the last meeting was December the 8th. Okay. Would you take a few minutes to review? Thank you. Here they are.
Update, this is update, staff report.
Yes, these
Oh,
are the
these are the
minutes.
mi- okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Ando norteada.
You rushed in here.
I was, yes, I've been rushing. I know. Pero se me sale a las 7:10.
amazing weather.
Oh,
Remember?
Yes, yes.
If there was,
yeah. Yeah, I was gonna
But
remember why we
it
didn't
was
go.
yes,
freezing, yes.
yes, it was the cold weather and
We thought it was
something
gonna
that-
be like February 15th.
Yes.
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 Que tenemos miedo al frío.
Y luego cuando the cold, it was very bad too. But
Yes,
you know,
well, I had COVID.
yeah, it was very, yeah.
I had COVID.
Does anybody have anything?
There's the. Miss Solis instead of Mr. Solis.
Ah, Miss.
On what page?
On the second, right here.
Ah, Mr. Solis. Ah,
Ay, very good, Esmeralda.
oh, yes.
Hello, I couldn't lock my car right now. It's like technology.
First, did you lock
Sentence.
Like what, Mr.
Oh, second. And on the line.
Second paragraph, under the
Well,
letter.
break this down. And 5 minutes means.
No, yes.
Mine's up in November 2020.
Does anybody have any other comments? That there was a correction that there to, from Mr. to Miss?
Yes.
Anything else?
No wonder I missed you so much.
Yes,
So many months.
Yeah.
We haven't seen each other.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
I so moved.
Okay, moved by Rosa Maria Villano to approve the minutes. Do I hear a second?
second.
Okay, second by Ms. Biles. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the minutes have been approved. Very good, thank you very much. Yes, I guess we just, it's been so long because we were gonna have a meeting on January 26th, and in the email, several people
Yes.
said, let's reschedule,
Yes.
and then February.
We had it, but no quorum.
quorum. So here we are. Okay. Very good. All right, the next item on the agenda, communications and announcements.
Yes, and in your packet, you do have a copy of an award letter. The library did apply for a competitive grant, which was an expansion of the Family Place libraries, which we have currently here at this library and at the Moss branch. This is for the Faskin branch, and we did get awarded the $6,000.
Wow.
Plus,
Very good.
they are paying for the training for the librarian in order to start doing these kinds of programs. Unfortunately, she's not gonna be going to New York. It's gonna be online.
Oh,
Darn it.
that was
Yes, right. I can go.
because of this.
Yes, and Danielle's from New York, she says it's really bad.
Oh, yeah, right now the weather
COVID
is
is
really bad, yeah. Not a good time to go right now.
Another thing is a copy of an ordinance that'll more than likely be approved on Monday. And this is a lease agreement with the Laredo Literacy Volunteers of Laredo. They are going to be leasing, but it's not leasing, we're giving them a free office space at the inner city library, and it's about 279 square feet. It's a little office.
Where is it?
They are right now,
You're on the
they
inner
are
city.
at LC right now.
No, no, but where is this lease?
Inner city.
Inner
library.
city, the one on Plum?
It's where I
Oh,
used to
where
work.
I lost you.
Yes, where you-
I was-
I'll call it that right now.
Yes, okay.
Oh,
Oh, so
Yes,
they
that's
get
what
to
to West
meet-
Palm.
do their training there, or their?
They can, honestly, and Danielle will back me up on this, during the mornings at that library, it was usually ESL classes, citizenship classes, either with LC or with literacy volunteers. Danielle here was a certified instructor, and she taught some of the
With the
classes
literacy
there.
Yeah.
So, in the morning, it's usually adults, and it would, pre-pandemic, we had a lot of movement there, a lot
Yeah,
of
it's a
classes.
great location for English students.
So,
A lot of the patron base is Spanish speaking majority, and so a lot of the classes, the great part about Laredo College as well is it goes into then general education diploma, so you get your GED, then you can go on to different career tracks. But Literacy Volunteers has also been a great collaboration with
Yes.
the
That's
inner city
wonderful.
branch.
so that's wonderful.
So, Gloria Vasquez will be office there from 9 to 2. She only works part-time, and they'll handle all the business. Right now, they are at LC in one of the older buildings, and they were looking for a new office.
Okay.
But they'll
So-
still be there, part
No,
of it,
they're coming,
everything. yes.
everything's gonna come over here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yes.
No, it's a good match.
Yes,
I mean,
yes, it is,
Yeah,
it is.
definitely.
Very good match.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then the city will be, doing this agreement with them?
Yes, we have a contract that'll be signed and, it's already had its first reading. It was an introductory ordinance and I expect it to be approved on Monday.
Okay,
And they wanna move in.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Okay, very good. That's under announcements, right?
Oh, that's part of Mr. President.
Oh, there he is.
Hi, Mr. Ramos.
How are you?
Okay, so
Sorry
yes,
for
we
being
have
late.
a, more than
Me too.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Did you wanna move the item for
Report card.
action? I know you're not gonna lose the quorum even,
Right, but just so that, okay.
Can vote on it. And that would be,
Number eight.
Eight.
Items, okay. So we're going to move up from, we're done with communications and announcements, correct? Okay. Now let's go to item number 8, if you all don't mind. Items for discussion and possible action. Letter A, discussion and possible action to approve the Texas State Library and Archives Commission's 2021 Texas Public Library Annual Report.
and as you know, we do need to submit this report annually in order to be
Yeah, it
certified.
should look like this, but
Give
you
me
will
the
have
last one,
The last one.
The last one.
Mhm.
In your
This
packet.
one right here. The very, very last one.
This one?
No,
The one after that, right after that one.
Library
Yeah,
information.
yes. Yeah.
And this is what we will be submitting to the state.
Oh,
That one?
uh,
Yep, that's right. It should, yes, it's that, yes. Yeah.
The library information.
Yeah, so this,
I don't have it, no.
You're the only-
Mine, I know. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you get that
She has it.
It's a lot of documents today because we haven't met in quite a while.
Yes, yes,
As I was saying, this is what we submit to the state every year. We have to fill it out. It's basic information, but it's also statistics and also our budget to see how much we've spent on books and how much we spend on employees and operations of the library. They take this information and they see if the city has, was able to maintain the effort of financially. The last 2 years, we've had to use indirect costs because we haven't been spending, well, of course, we've been closed for the last two,
Yes, yes.
you know, practically. So we didn't come up to the level that we were supposed to be spending. So, but we can use indirect costs, other costs from the city, such as their financial services, the IT, all that is not taken directly out of our budget. So we've met accreditation ever since I've been here.
So what this is for, this is set by the state of Texas to meet a minimum qualitative standards for the library. So generally what they wanna look at is to make sure that your collection, at least 1% has been published within the last 5 years, because we always wanna make sure our information is recent, updated, and especially in sciences, those types of things tend to change frequently. Other qualitative measures and quantitative measures is they wanna make sure they have a number of certain numbers of librarians per population base. Another one is amount of spending for your collection. In terms of all of our expenditures, they wanna make sure a certain percentage is toward the collection.
Books per capita.
Books per capita,
expenditures
you wanna
per
have a certain number
capita.
of collection per population as well, not just spending. And these allow us to participate in the ILL, the state interlibrary loans. Programs, this allows us to apply for grants like Family Place. So this accreditation is quite important for us to maintain it.
E-rate is a big one.
E-rate is another one, is a technology discount program that we have as well.
So this is the information
Yep.
for your approval.
Yep, so you'll see the first page is basically address, mailing address, Ms. Lisa's information, our website. You'll go into the second page where it's gonna show who prepared it, the board chair's first name, the president, the number of outlets, branches, and then like Ms. Lee said, it goes into the expenditures, where you're spending the money, how much is going toward staff, toward grant, toward collections.
I have a question. Friends President Celia Palombo, oh, we have friends in the library?
It is, it's been dormant for quite a while. I've been trying to talk her into her, to see if we could revive it, because we have a lot of younger kids that used to be in our team board that are interested in possibly being in
That would
that.
be
Yes,
wonderful.
you know what,
Yes.
every time I walk in, I
Yes.
look for my brick, because I remember I was riding, when I was a principal at Didi, we had one
When
for
we
Didi
first
and
opened,
one
yeah.
for yes, and I sold some, in fact, I was with a friend of mine, I remember, with, long time ago. And it would be good to start,
It's kind of,
getting it
it's
active
hard,
again.
I mean, all of the people that were in it before
Are
are,
all gone.
the only one I have contact with is Celia Palombo. And like, right now, I'm trying to get the bank statements so we can prepare their tax returns.
Oh, it used to be también, ay, ¿cómo se llama? She's on the LC board.
Jackie.
Eh?
Jackie
Jackie Ramos, yes. And at one time Nelly Trust also.
Oh, yes.
Remember Nelly Trust and, okay, so I was just, I saw that and I hadn't heard anything about it.
Another friends of the library. See,
That would be
Yes,
nice.
yes, okay, I'm sorry to
No,
interrupt.
you're fine, you're fine. Yeah, and then as you go through, you see the library collection, so they also, as part of those quantitative standards, wanna make sure that we have a collection that's viewable to the public online, to have a searchable catalog. How many print materials we have, how many audio materials, which would be CDs, books on CD, video formats, and then it also goes into e-collections as well, and how many we have, electronic audiobooks, electronic ebooks, the total volumes, since that does base on the per capita. All their quantitative standards, they wanna make sure we have a long-range plan, and then other counts, that are unique, go into the number of registered users, number of website visits, and program attendance as well.
And this year, they've added the synchronized program.
Yes. And, much to my chagrin, but it's for more data, which is always good. They've actually broken it down this year by the number of programs you've had in person, virtually, off-site in person, virtually off-site. So they've really started to break it down because of the pandemic. We've done a lot of things, and shifted a lot of things virtually. So, there's more program data.
So, I'm sorry, the number of weeks building closed for, because of COVID, 37 weeks?
Yes,
We opened in June.
June
So,
21st.
And it's from June to September, so
Right.
that's all.
that counts it down.
The majority of the.
Yeah, because they want you, as part of those quantitative standards, to make sure that you have a certain number of service hours to the public, that your building is open.
But
They
you
have
had
been
these
giving,
other you had Wi-Fi, you had everything.
yes, they have been giving waivers as well due to the pandemic and libraries being closed. Other libraries have had to apply for those waivers because they haven't been open, or met those minimum service hours. And then it goes into, in library staffing and salaries, it then goes into resource sharing, so that's part of that ILL, which is why we applied for this, to make sure we want to be accredited. And you can see, I don't know if you remember from last year, but last year our ILLs total provided statewide was 644. This year it's actually jumped up to over 1,000. So you can see that we started getting a lot more requests statewide, and our staff have been working really hard on that. But in terms of other pros was difference in program attendance. So last year you'll see that we only had a few of total live, but this year it's been broken down a lot more than prior years in program attendance.
Lastly is just information on the different branches.
Yeah, and then since Bruni has been closed, I did put a note in there as well of that. But I think that's really the only,
Well, you can show the salary of a regular librarian?
no,
Okay, just the director.
yes.
What's the librarian salary?
Depends,
On the year's experience?
well, if it's a 1, 2, or 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
And there is a minimum, but I usually cannot hire at that, it usually has to be maybe somewhere between mid and minimum.
minimum.
Yeah, minimum and mid.
Daniela's not here, but is there, a provision for how many, since we are primarily, 96% Hispanic, is there such a provision as you should have so much, no?
No.
Actually, that does play into account a little bit on the E-rate, because the E-rate, checks your school lunch program.
No,
And
but you're
how many
talking about
students are-
Hispanic.
Yeah, I'm talking about books in Spanish.
No, it
No.
doesn't ask.
Okay, that's, it was a question,
Yeah.
just, I'm curious.
Yeah, we try to always ask, if materials are available bilingually, because it is so prominent.
Right, just to promote,
Yeah, yeah,
especially in the lower grades.
yeah.
And
In
for
terms of-
adults, there's a lot of adults, we're
Yeah.
seeing it in literacy
course.
volunteers.
Oh, of course, yeah,
Yes.
but in terms of TSLAC, no, they don't ask. Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions for Maria? Solis? No? Okay, at this time, I'm gonna go ahead and take a vote. All those in favor of approving the Texas Library and Archive Commission 2021 Texas Public Library Annual Report, please say, raise your hand. Okay, all those opposed? Okay, motion passes. Thank you. Thank you, good job, this is a
Yes.
lot of information.
Yeah, it is. I
and
mean, a lot of
everything
it
that
is-
you have accumulated throughout.
Yes,
Just
yes.
Putting it into this format.
Yeah, it is a lot.
It is a lot.
So I appreciate you taking a look at it, because I know sometimes libraries can have data silos. With that, do I go into this?
Next item?
Yeah, did you wanna go ahead and do the statistics? In the past, the committee had asked for Danielle to be here because she had made some, modifications to the
Okay.
statistics, and so she's here.
Okay.
That way she can take.
Alright, so then I'm gonna jump back up, or right before we go to letter scheduling of the next meeting, or let's just finish that up, is that okay?
That's
So
fine.
let's go to letter B, scheduling for the next meeting, agenda, date, place, and time.
Okay, it is scheduled for the 27th of April,
April 27th.
but it's TLA. I don't know.
Are you going?
Yes.
Where is it? Where is it?
Fort Worth.
Oh.
It's
I'll be
TLA,
fine.
TLA. You can still leave the
Okay.
meeting on the 27th, it's just Annalisa will be here. It's up to you.
Or what would be the other
The
option?
20th, the week before.
That's fine.
It's fine, so,
April 20th,
20th, the 20th?
it is.
The 20th it is, okay, April 20th.
And as far as we know, it'll be in person still.
Okay.
In person, hopefully, this COVID, gives us a chance.
You can get another booster now.
BA2.
That's a
No,
BA2.
the variant.
Yeah,
BA2.
They're two different ones.
No, maybe.
Two new ones?
Wait, no leo.
They're giving the
The fourth
the
booster?
booster, yeah.
Booster anytime now.
Oh, really? I have to go.
But the new variant, I mean, there's cases right now.
Yes.
But we're waiting to see if there'll be a surge.
An uptick, yeah.
Oh,
But people
You
over
should be
50
wearing
can
a
get
mask.
their second booster.
Yep.
Yeah.
yes, I've already.
The President got his today, so.
Yeah.
Okay, very good, that takes care of, item number 8, A and B. So now we go back and jump to
Seven
E, monthly statistics.
And quarterly programs, is that also included?
No, we can.
Okay, okay. So,
This
there
is
really
this one.
isn't too much difference. I included, of course, December 2021, and then, yes, and then January 2022, and then February 2022. Really, the only differences I did was just for my peace of mind. I bumped up the printouts and the fax up to where the computers are, since it's technology device based. I just went ahead and shifted that up. And the other change I made was, if you go down, under other services, I moved curbside up. So curbside is where we're delivering materials to those who are driving up.
On what page?
It is
Second.
second,
In the back.
yeah. So it's just right here, curbside. Yeah. Yeah, it's right under other services, yep. Yeah, yeah, so that one I just, because I want to start looking at it comparatively, and to get the year Yeah, you've got it. Yeah, so those, I went ahead and changed and just moved them up to services instead of them being at the bottom, just, instead of keeping them down. Really the only other thing I did was remove, there was a, titles discarded, volumes discarded. I just went ahead and condensed it into titles added, titles removed, volumes added, volumes removed. Since we don't need to keep all of that, information tends to just be most important what we're adding and what we're withdrawing, so I just condensed it. And as well, you can see the electronic versions that have been added and the totals to date at the very bottom, which is what we need to keep track for the T-SLAC annual report as well. You're gonna see on all three of these, if you take a gander at these later on, you're gonna see especially December, January, you're gonna see some astronomical numbers and changes of percentages, especially in fiction. Our circulations, you'll see some of them might say 600%, 200% up. This is just a reminder that our baseline was very low because the pandemic did hit us and affect us. So I think maybe in terms of statistics, we might start getting back to normal next year or 2024 at the very earliest. But it's great to see that services are back up and you're actually seeing a decrease in the e-collections and people coming in.
Yeah.
So it's a total reversal of what we've had the past 2 years, which is really nice. So traffic is up. You're gonna see our checkouts are up. So it's really nice to see that people are coming back and glad that we're open again.
I had seen I saw in the newspaper, and I called Ms. Solis to let her know that I had seen a very nice article that came out in the newspaper. I don't know if y'all, I was gonna bring it.
And then,
No, it was a while back.
It was a while back, you remember?
About what?
About the library and all the services and everything that's available. You know how we're always asking,
Yes,
you know, that we're publicizing and we're advertising and all that, and I saw it, and it was also in the news, that's right, it was in.
but it wasn't more than 2 weeks ago, because I know I did see it, I just don't.
Yeah, was it, I think it was 2 weeks, over 2 weeks.
Oh, I think it was over
Over
2
2
weeks.
weeks
That,
ago.
one of the reporters did call and wanted to do an article on the
Yes,
library.
And it was.
And it was
Noraida Negron. right?
Yes, it was the result of the
State of
mayor's
the
state
city.
of the city. He
Oh.
saw some
Yes.
numbers, so he
Loretta
called
is from
and
the
tell me
public
more.
access,
Oh.
pero, and is she's the, so Noraida is the one that did the report.
No, it was a reporter from
Christian.
LNT.
Christian Ocampo,
Jorge Vela maybe,
Jorge
yes.
Vela, yes.
Yes, and he saw that. I was like, all these numbers for the city and construction area,
So from
he's a
there-
library user, so he
Yeah.
focused on that. And it was only a couple of
Yeah, it was a
sentences.
nice.
Yeah.
It was
I
very nice.
have
I
it
saw
there
it
by
actually.
my printer. Yes,
Yeah.
but I was gonna bring it I brought it up actually. No, we didn't have the meeting, but I told you about it there, yeah.
Yeah, so you'll see some of the numbers are astronomically high, which is good. I mean, it means we're only going up from here, hopefully that's the case, and COVID cases, stay as low as they are for us right now. But everything's going back up, so it's really nice to see.
Any questions?
No, I just wanted to say that in regards to that article that was, whenever it was last month, that I think we should continue doing more.
We are, and as a matter of fact, we are working with Noraida.
Okay.
She had to halt it because something always, comes in that they have to cover. But she's been going, she did come here and she was gonna go to all the branches while they were doing programs, so she could do a little program for PAC, well, Laredo
Yes.
TV, that's
That's
not
right.
PAC anymore.
We've been saying, because you have such good programs here, such good programs, and, I've come and 2, 3.
The press release for the week, all the events, they include all our flyers in there too.
Oh, good.
So we're getting good coverage, and the media gets those and they look, oh, let me go cover
And
this.
this starts, it's already started?
It's already started. She hasn't finished that program she's working on,
Okay.
that little video she's gonna do on the library.
I haven't seen
No,
any
No,
more,
not yet.
aside from that,
No, not yet, not
Not
yet.
yet.
She's working. Okay. Very good. Thank you so much. Anybody
Thank
have any
you.
questions on the statistics?
Yeah, and I think the other one you'll probably look at later is just a
It's
quarterly
under
program
the
stats as
staff.
well.
It seems like you like numbers, right?
Oh, I'm so glad. The only thing she doesn't do is the budget stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, the really cool part I started doing, I set our system up to track the top 10 titles per genre, like children's fiction, juvenile fiction,
Yeah.
Spanish fiction, Spanish nonfiction, DVDs fiction, just to see a little bit more or less. But you can imagine the juvenile fiction is all Diary of a Wimpy Kid and
Yeah.
Minecraft, you know, but it's very interesting to see what's being checked out.
And what is your position?
Technical services,
She's
Yes,
the
I'd
one
like
that
to-
takes care of the system.
the collection, the system.
Right, okay, good.
Danielle, I would like to know again, which ones are the books that are reading
Are you gonna
most?
be publishing those? Like,
I wanted to get with Nikki to maybe publish those at the end of the year, the top 10 titles by checkouts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for-
it would be good to know.
it would be good for literacy volunteers
Well,
in
it's
the
also
book.
good for us for collection development, because then we know what's circulating, what's good to buy.
Right.
Like, I think in January, one of the top titles was The Bell Jar, which is one of my favorites.
It's
But-
old.
And that's what's surprising, that it's, you
It's
know,
old,
checking
yeah.
out so well, but, yeah, it's very cool.
I commend you for that.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
it. To me, I like to see what people are reading, you know?
Right. I would think.
she's a
that's-
big reader.
Yeah.
Yes, good, so.
Yes. Well, thank you.
Bring it up for the literacy volunteers, so we can recommend,
Yeah.
you know, because tomorrow we have to recommend that I'm in the Spanish book
Yes.
literacy, like, you know, telling the other. And we need to know what they like to read.
Yeah,
so we can-
you'll see The Alchemist, because they did the book club. The
Yes,
Alchemist
yes.
is one of the titles that's,
I know they did it in English, but yeah, I've read
Yeah.
it, that's one of
Yeah.
my favorites.
yeah.
En español también.
Yeah, I also set the system up so it'll check by
Oh, okay.
collection codes. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Daniel.
Very good.
That's good to know.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and jump back up to letter A. Semi-annual committee report to the mayor and city council.
And this was submitted, back in December. We've had it in the packet. But it's just a copy of the attendance, our agendas, our minutes, and a letter to the mayor and city council members. Of some of the things that happened during the meeting.
Okay, so,
Missing, there, are we missing anybody?
yes, we're missing, Alberto Torres is a member. Oh, wait, excuse me,
Yes.
I'm still looking at this.
Well, I'm
Because,
looking at the chart.
Oh.
At the chart behind that kind of big, there's a chart. So we have everybody, right?
We have everybody but, Ms. Maribel Valdez Rodriguez has been absent, more than 4 times.
Yeah.
So, Angie's gonna submit a request
For the.
to appoint somebody else.
I think we all-
So we were missing that one, but everybody else.
But she had said she couldn't.
Yes,
Yes,
she
and we
had
were
come.
expecting, we waited to
Yes.
maybe get a letter from
Oh,
her,
that's
but
right.
not, and now it's based on absences
Oh,
that
I thought
she needs.
she-
No, she had.
Where does it say the absence?
On the back of the
Oh, that's it.
contact.
And this is just through through December.
December.
Yeah. No,
July,
December, yes.
July to December.
Mhm.
Should be doing another one in July.
In July, we'll turn in the one for this year's month.
There's several terms up in November
Oh.
this year. There are several terms that,
Are coming up this,
Right.
yes, and just remember if your council member is, you know, well, not removed,
Not
but they
removed.
can't
Not
run again.
removed, I
You
mean,
still continue
It's not in
attending.
the council.
Yeah.
Angie, you're one, I'm one, and who else? We got, Melly, also right, November, and that's Mr., was all of us, was all
they
of them.
continue attending until they assign.
Until they either reappoint you or
This one, mine,
they appoint
says
somebody else.
November 2022. And then also we, Melly, November 2022. And, Angie, November 2022.
There's gonna be.
And then Esmeralda, November 2022. That's it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow.
I remember I used to represent George Algett
Mhm.
in that
You're
district. and then,
representing Ruben.
Yeah, and now I'm representing Ruben.
But you're good until November 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the good
You're good. You're good until 2024.
I'm good.
You're good.
I will not
And
be
so is
replaced.
Ms. Perez. Ms. Perez is good until,
Yeah.
and so is Robert.
I used to be in your place
Right.
because, yeah, 7th, and then I moved.
So
Yes.
will you move?
No, it's George Algett had appointed, you can do that.
It's,
You don't have to live in the district.
no,
No, you
no,
don't.
some
Robert Peace
council
does
members
not.
prefer that you live in their districts, but
But
some.
others, you don't have to.
Oh.
Bob Ortiz does not live in council,
Or the Sierra
in
North.
District 8.
Ah,
I know for sure, because he lives in the north, and that's by LCC. Lisa Cigarroas is by LCC. In the Women's Commission, I represent Cigarroa from District 8, and I live in the north, yeah.
So it
But
doesn't-
Ruben, yes, he is District 5 and I'm
And you're-
District
you're
8.
district.
That's your Ruben.
Yes.
Ruben was my neighbor. He's gone.
Okay, so then this is already submitted.
It was
Did
already
Robert
submitted.
sign it?
He lived on the lot.
I did,
Yes,
I did.
No.
No, I signed it because it was, the deadline they gave us.
Oh,
Yeah, and I think I've done that for and we're allowed to.
okay.
Yes,
Because I remember I used to sign it,
yes.
and Rob, I think that's the one time.
Robert, yeah,
kinda just-
but trying to get hold of it
It's
sometimes,
very,
it's kind of.
oh, and here's all the agendas you have to
Yeah.
attach on the
Mhm.
agendas. Okay. We get to keep this, right?
Yeah, that's-
I like to keep this because of the phone numbers.
No.
There's some times that, you know,
No,
I wanna call and we got everybody's phone numbers in. Okay, very good. So that's, do we have to vote on this or anything?
No, it's just a report.
Okay. And then material selection, collection, development policy.
I don't know if you would like to table this, or if you'd like to go ahead and talk about it. It is, some items, the ones that Mr. Ortiz had brought up.
Oh, and he's not
He's not
here.
here.
Yes,
think
can
we
we
should-
table it? Okay, if
Yes.
that's okay with you all, I
That's
move
fine.
that we
Table.
table, item number B until Mr. Ortiz is available. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Alright, yes, cause he had, I saw that email where you had several questions, and this is all that information.
And I told him, I'm gonna put this item and it will cover all
It's
that.
under material selection, collection, development policy. Okay, got it. Very good. Alright, next is letter C, library director's update.
Okay, as far as staffing, we're doing real good. We just hired 2 clerk ones. Unfortunately, they were clerk 1 part-timers, so now those are open. So we have 2 part-time
yeah.
clerks open, one in the inner city on Plum and one in the South Branch. And of course, the librarians it's really hard right now to recruit. I think in the Texas Library Association job line, there's like over 150 positions open throughout the state. So we have the librarian 3 upstairs reference, and then we have the librarian 2 at inner city. But right now, the girls are doing okay. I have 2 librarian 1s up in the reference desk. They're taking care of it, and other people are helping to cover. I've sent my librarian 3 from here into inner city to cover until we hire somebody else. So we're doing okay, but we do have also the circulation supervisor, the mobile services. That's been hard to recruit too. So we have 3 positions open, full-times, and 2 part-timers that we're recruiting for. I just got word that one of them's gonna get posted probably by the end of the year, week. So, also, in your packet, you have the quarterly report, which is October, November, December, and this is, a list of the programs that we've been providing at each branch and how many have been in attendance. So it's looking pretty good. October 2021, we were already open to the public. We saw an increase during the early months, but then when we had that spike in the COVID, it went back down. And we did stop programs for 2 or 3 weeks. So we were not doing any. Yes, but right now, the kids are back. You should have seen us. It almost felt normal during spring break.
That's good,
It was-
that's good.
It was good, it was good. All the branches. you know, have people
Yeah,
go in.
they're hungry, okay, they're hungry for that.
They need
that,
a-
yes.
So, I mean, it's been good. The story hours have been well attended. Slowly but surely, we're bringing up the numbers. And then the other thing in your packet, of course, is the checklist of the things that have been fixed at each of the branches.
On that checklist for staff reports. Yes. Yes, no, I was just gonna, so, they did mention that Jerry Leal was gonna come and check the sound system. Was he able to do so?
Yes, we bought, I'll let Angie, she's the one that buys all the
Yeah,
stuff.
he came by a couple of times, he checked our system, and he was able to, we were able to replace 3 amplifiers. So, yeah, instead of doing the whole system,
Yes.
3 amplifiers.
And that took care of it.
Yeah, that took care of it, they're working right now.
Because tomorrow we have a workshop here at the library,
Yeah,
so, city council workshop, so.
Oh,
Yeah,
city
he finally
council
came in
workshop,
and
I
was
hope
able to.
everything will work.
Well, it will. That's one of the good things, cause I mean, they have to have everything working.
And is it going to be under main?
Multi-purpose.
Yeah, yeah.
And who does the Jerry Ann?
Is he back?
No,
He's
No,
not back.
yes, and he's
No.
out.
He's been out.
He's been out
He's
surgery.
He's
I think
surgery or
Yeah, something medical.
No.
he's,
That's what ITV used to work
yes,
with.
like for 2 months, he's gonna be out.
I didn't know that.
Yes,
How long?
yes.
But, I mean, there's people covering for him and they've been here setting up, cause they have to.
So what's happening here?
The water, master plan workshop tomorrow at 5:30.
Okay, one, water master plan for Laredo,
Mhm.
good. We need that,
Yeah, hold your breath here.
we need that. So at the multi-purpose, so where is the literacy, book club?
It's gonna be moved somewhere.
Yeah.
We had to,
That's
We're asked to
fine.
do that.
Within here, within
yes,
the library.
I think I'm gonna have maybe a group here. We've emptied classroom 8. I don't know if they're gonna use it for something, but the other 2 program rooms upstairs are gonna be used. We've moved everything around.
So tomorrow it's at 5.
Come
It's
on.
via WebEx and in
Mhm.
person. See, they had told me I could do via WebEx, but if I'm here today,
Yeah,
then I'll be
yeah.
here tomorrow too. So it's better.
Mhm.
But I didn't know about variant B.
You're fine, you're protected.
So the
I
rock
don't
wall,
know.
what's up with the
No.
rock wall?
The rock wall, I think they told us, risk management told us we couldn't have it anymore because the rules with the state of Texas had changed. It was considered an amusement park, ride, and all these other regulations we would fall under. They told us it needed to come down. So we started and they removed half of it, but then the lid was needed somewhere else. So it's
Yes.
still,
Anyway.
part of it is, I went to see it this morning, I was like, you know, so we might have to rent the equipment ourselves so that they can finish it off. It's Public Works that's doing it, and it's, I mean, it's not something that,
So
I
it
mean, my
hasn't been
maintenance staff.
completed?
No, the removal of it, not yet, but it's not something that my staff could do. I mean, it's pretty labor intensive.
Oh, yeah, I know, that's very, it is.
So half of it is off, and then the rest is still up there. But it's not being used, and we're not letting people go back there.
Any questions on the checklist for the monthly checklist for all the libraries? And then, of course, the programs.
The programs and the flyers. And I've asked Nikki to do main library, separate, Moss, and then Barbara Faskin, and then Inner City. So you have
Oh, good.
4 packets. Yeah, it's a lot
Yes,
easier to.
yes. And so she does all the libraries.
Who? Nikki.
Nikki.
Yes,
Veronica
before- You don't
goes-
have that young man anymore that you.
No, he left us.
But she's very good.
Oh, no, she
She-
did the program for the women's.
I know, I was, yes. That's why my flyer for my poetry, just today. I was like, where, she's always early. And she just finished it today.
And she had to do, the media program, she had to do, there was like 3 different things we had to do for the women's.
She's excellent. She's excellent. Kudos to Nikki, yeah. I like that she combined, see, because they died the same day, the same year, 1616, April 15th, April 16th, but across the calendars. See, it's the same. See, and this is, she did this last year, it's the same.
When is
last
this
year.
gonna be?
This is,
beautiful picture.
thank you.
When is this gonna be?
It's from my phone,
Okay.
from my
Really?
phone.
Wow, those colors.
And the
From
next
my
one,
phone.
the next one, this is all of them, and then this is the one
Yes,
for
the
that
one
month.
for-
It doesn't say anything, it
See.
doesn't say the date, only over here.
No, see, it does say the dates right there.
These are all the workshops,
Yes.
but then she does a flyer for
Yes,
each one.
and then the flyer for each one, so we can, and I love that, her idea, creativity, of fusing the both, you know, because there's so much, I mean, they're the greatest writers, and they died the same day, the same year.
Wow.
It's incredible how,
Where is this gonna be? Here?
this is at the multi-purpose one, yes, but it's also via WebEx, because we have people from Austin, from Round Rock, from Houston, from Dallas. We've even had people from California, from General Treviño, Nuevo León.
Wow.
We've had from Mexico, see? And, so we've kept the WebEx. And for September, it didn't say the statistics. I don't remember if I saw them, but we had like over 100 people, because we had a lot here and a lot.
A lot
for
online
WebEx.
también, that's
Oh,
good.
Because that's when we brought Norma Cantú, Raquel Valle, and of course they bring a lot.
They bring a lot of people también.
Yes, yes.
All the branches are busy doing programs, some with better attendance than the others, but it's coming.
She's all excited because we have a lot of students from United South coming. With Chris Soto, Cristina Soto, I don't know if you know Cristina.
This is
English teacher.
preschool art, how cute. You don't have art cast for adults?
Not yet, we have arts and crafts, I don't think it's there, that's Marina who does them, but I think she's
It would be
doing a
nice
card.
to have, somebody to do art cast for adults. I'm picking apart, that's why.
Yeah, I think she's concentrating right now on, she's having a gardening program.
That's
Really?
nice too.
Here?
3 to 4, succulents and cactus, indoor plants,
Oh,
and then
yes.
cooking with
Yeah,
herbs.
I didn't see
Where is
it.
that?
It's right here, I didn't see it, it's right in front of mine, right in front of yours. In the, la primera.
So we have a little bit of something for everybody.
Yes.
The preteens,
This
the
is
teens,
wonderful.
3 to 4, when?
Thursday, April 21st.
I think she's doing it once a month.
And then May 19th, and then June 23rd.
See,
I'm cooking with herbs, that's good.
I love indoor plants, air purifying plants. That's very good.
Can you see it?
Marina Hinojosa, she's doing the book club tomorrow. She is, tomorrow, the main one. I'm just helping her. Yeah, I think it's wonderful. What you're doing is just.
Yeah, this one on healthy weight and physical activity.
We have partnered up with
Texas A&M.
Mhm.
I think the last, every Wednesday, from 1 to 2.
Then what, this one?
Ah,
is the
but it's in
Fascon
the
brand.
inner city library.
You know where it is now?
Pero no está
But they
mal,
don't have
porque
it
esa-
here.
No.
No, not here. They're partnering with Inner City and Fasken too.
Pero está bien.
Yeah. Okay, any questions or comments or other comments regarding the programs and services?
Looking well,
I know.
but then said
That's
inner
our
city,
city,
inner city. Sí, pero it's okay.
I think it.
Oh, it already started March 21st, to April 11th. Every day? No, oh, every Monday. Al igual que los alumnos.
Que no la oigan.
All right, any questions or comments? Library Advisory Committee member absences. Okay, so the only one absent was Robert.
Sorry I was late, my report card tonight,
Oh.
some of those things, so.
Anything else? Anybody?
You have excellent programs.
Yes,
Thank you.
Excellent.
We need to bring him back in.
Yeah, we're very proud of our library.
Yes.
Yes, and yes, thank you for, you know, getting publicity and getting people to come, because, I mean,
Maybe we can, talk to Sylvia about the library.
Silver Lumber, yes.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I come motion to adjourn, I don't know.
For your second, Ms. Diana? Okay, all those in favor? All those opposed? Did you have another question?
No, I was like, we are done, right?
Yes,
I
yes,
didn't
we
want
went
to-
through the whole thing,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, I was checking out. We skipped around.
Let me turn this.
So, okay, motion,
To adjourn?
meeting adjourned, yes.